All right, I've hit the go live button here, so it should be streaming to YouTube. It says it's still loading, so hopefully that's working fine, but I'm going to, because I don't want to start late, I'm going to go ahead and get started. I want to welcome everybody. Thank you guys for taking the time to spend with us tonight. Again, make sure you send out reminders to your team. Tonight's call is going to be really exciting. It's going to be really good. Tammy's going to have some awesome information, I'm sure, to share with you guys. And so I'm very excited. So with that being said, I'm going to go ahead and get started. I'm going to introduce you guys to Tammy. I'm sure anybody that read her bio has a pretty good idea about her and her background, but we're going to go over some of that stuff. And then we're going to get into some exciting like ins and outs of what she does to build her business. I'm going to tell you guys. Where is that coming from? Oh, hang on. Sorry. It is working on YouTube. Okay, close that out. I didn't know it was going to do that. Sorry. So I'm going to tell you guys, you're not going to want to miss that portion. You're not going to want your teams to miss that portion. So with that being said, I am so excited to have Tammy on here tonight. She's somebody that I've had the pleasure of getting to know over the last 3 years, getting to watch her business grow, getting her to watch her just dig in and fall in love with various parts of the business. She's absolutely somebody that whenever we started doing these spotlights and I started taking nominations, I received multiple nominations with her name on them because she just displays all the things that we talked about that we felt like are important to do these spotlights. She's a hard worker. She digs in. She doesn't complain a whole lot. She does all the things that she's supposed to do and works her business, takes care of her customers. She has a huge heart. She cares so very, very much about people and wanting to help them and get them to their goals. And not only that, but within their life as in general. And so anyway, I'm going to stop talking and let Tammy tell you guys a little bit about her. Again, I know you guys probably read her background, but I just want to cover some of it so that you guys get a good idea of before, during, and now sort of situation, so that you know why she's going to talk to us tonight. So Tammy, can you unmute yourself, or do I need to do it? Okay, I lost her.
Okay, I think it's unmuted.
Yay, there you are. Hi.
Hi.
Okay, so tell us, when did you get started with True? How did you get started? All that good stuff.
I started with True Vision in September 2016. I came across a yard sale ad and I was added to a group and I just kind of followed it. And I think that it's important that everybody help people to find like a post or something that can resonate with them, because they have to be able to connect to it to be able to see it happening in their own life. I guess for me, it was seeing people that had PCOS be able to successfully become pregnant. And that was the only reason why I decided to try the products, even though that I did need to lose weight, was because that was something that resonated with me.
Yeah, I know that's a big part of your journey and your story, and still is actively a part of your story. But I guess tell us a little bit about what your life was like, what was going on with you when you found the products, and why, how you got to get started.
When I found the products, I worked as a supported living coach and as a job coach, and I just kind of devoted my life to helping other people and not necessarily helping myself. And True Vision allowed me the opportunity to see that I should help myself before helping other people, per se. And it helped me to be able to invest time and energy into bettering myself versus bettering everybody else's lives.
Yeah, and so from my understanding of that job, you were working with the developmentally disabled. Is that correct?
Yes.
So super stressful, super trying emotionally, I'm sure, job with that.
Yeah.
Is that
And a lot of times it was, you know, a lot of the positions were on call 24 hours a day. So you didn't necessarily have your own time to be able to work on you. It was any time that your clients needed you emotionally, physically, anything, you had to be there and be available.
Yeah, I'm sure that takes a huge toll. So, when you had it, like, so when you got started with the products, you got started, if I remember correctly, that would have been during Gen 2 time. Is that right?
Yeah.
So we're throwing it back a little bit to the days of Gen 2. So when you first got started, what was that like for you? What was your experience? How'd that go?
Well, it took a few days for me to get started because I was nervous about detox symptoms because I devoted so much of my life and my time to other people that I just couldn't imagine going into a detox and not being able to perform my job or, you know, my everyday life. So I was nervous. I didn't start it right away, but I left it in a spot where I could see it. And so I was constantly reminded that it was there. And then I finally did start taking it, and I didn't have any symptoms that were previously discussed as far as detox. Like I imagined I was going to be on the toilet for days. But it wasn't like that. I think I had a headache one day, but I had just quit drinking pop as well. So my only regret was not starting it sooner because I could feel results immediately. Like I could feel my body changing as far as not needing a nap. I used to take ibuprofen every day before work just to deal with the swelling of my knee before it actually started swelling. And I noticed I didn't have to do that. And I noticed that things didn't taste as good to me anymore. And I just didn't have to have a caramel frappe every day.
Yeah, and that's huge. I know people get very attached to those coffees and caffeines and things that they reach for. So that's awesome. And that just like goes to show that maybe we like oversell the whole detox thing. We're scaring people away where they're.
It was definitely scary because I've done other programs where literally you are in the bathroom like nonstop, or your stomach hurts so bad like you just can't get out of bed.
Yeah, well, and that's another good testament to another like lesson within that is, you know, not to give up on those people that are afraid of detox, because that comes up a lot. You know, people will say, well, I saw a post, or I'm afraid of this, or I've tried other things and I'm afraid that this is going to make me feel that way. But, you know, if you know, you had never started, if you were given up on, then you wouldn't have reached 3-star. You know, like it's just like this ripple effect of all these things that wouldn't have happened. So,
Right.
you know, not giving up on those people that are like, you haven't started yet. Cause I know I have one right now that I think she ordered her trial like 6 or 8 weeks ago and still has not started. So not giving up on those people, I think, is a good lesson within that as well. Okay, so how soon then, once you did start and you realized it was not going to kill you, how soon did you decide to do the business?
Like I told you before, I didn't really know that it was a business. I just wanted other people to feel the way that I felt. I felt good. I started noticing changes. So I started to tell a couple of other people about it. And it wasn't until my sponsor like actually messaged me and was like, hey, you got paid today. And I'm like, paid for what? You know, I really didn't know. I just wanted to help people. And that was like my whole reasoning for showing them the product.
That's awesome. We always say that, like, the best associates are just good products of the product, or good, the best associates are the happiest customers. And I think that you definitely fit that bill, especially because you didn't know what you were doing.
Right.
Awesome. Okay, so let's jump into some more about your business. What things do you use to build your business? Like, how has that changed? What have you tried and currently using, I guess?
Most of my business, I personally did not start with a lot of warm market. Like the first person that I actually knew, like I sold to her, but it wasn't like friends and family. So I started primarily cold market because I got a referral from her, and that was how I started. But I use a lot of Facebook, and then I recently started using Instagram, but I've always tried to look in as many different directions as I can, but use my own uniqueness to add to it. Not necessarily ever just simply copy off of what one person is doing, but to add multiple, I guess, sources and just come up with, as trial and error, doing yard sale posts, doing referral programs, doing prize giveaways, just giving away free products. But the best thing I can say for my business that has taught me a lot is to always listen to what people say and what people do, because that's where some of my top sellers came from, was just listening to the things that they said and did.
Yeah, I totally agree. One of my absolute favorite things about you and about watching you and the way you operate your business is that you do exactly what you're saying, and that every time I turn around, you're like, look what I did. I tried this, and this is the response I got, or I pulled this report and sent 10,000 text messages. Like, you're always trying new things. When the old thing doesn't seem to get the results you hoped or whatever, you're constantly looking around the corner for that next thing. And so what you said about also your uniqueness is something I think people should take note of, because we're getting to the point where our company is so big. And I mean, we're not huge. We're definitely not saturated. I don't mean anything like that.
Right.
We have so many new things coming still, but we are getting big, and there is a lot of associates, and it's getting to be where some of these niches of places that didn't know about TrueVision now do know about TrueVision. And so when you're looking at what could I do to be better, the thing that I think about, or I try to think about within my own business, is why would somebody want to work with you? What makes you special, better, more worthy of their time, their money, their all of those things? What makes you stand out? What can you offer them that is unique that nobody else in the world can? And I think that operating in that frame of mind, first of all, makes you better. It makes you show up better. It makes when you're going into it like on a how can I serve this person sort of platform, then I just don't think you can go wrong within that.
Right.
And then there was something else you said too that I wanted to touch on. Maybe it'll come back to me. Okay. So on Instagram, I know that is something that is interesting to a lot of people, foreign and intriguing to some others. Do you have anything that you're doing over there that seems to be working, that you are growing with at least, or getting messages from?
Well, I mean, I think it's important for people to accept that they're not going to know everything. And Instagram is something that I really had no idea about. So what I did was I found somebody that knew how to do Instagram marketing, and, teamed up with them to help me to grow my reach and to grow my business and to help me develop posts and content. Because that's something that I don't know a lot about, but we worked together to create the content and the they've really helped me to learn how to use the hashtags and things like that.
Yeah, and I think that Instagram, people didn't get good at Facebook overnight. People did exactly what you're talking about, where it's like trial, error. Find somebody that does know the ins and outs of this. Find somebody that operates their business the way that you see yourself operating yours or want yours to operate, and
Right.
finding tips from those people. Because I think that people get so scared about Instagram because it's just so different than Facebook. While it's owned by Facebook, so it shouldn't be all that different. It just is, it's just a totally different bear.
Well, it's something new, and that's where people get scared, even when it comes to, reports, anything. I've always just been a button clicker. I like to see what this does and see what that does and not be afraid of the outcome of what it does. So,
Yeah.
have I made mistakes? I've made a lot of them, but I'm not afraid to make them.
Yeah, and you're growing and learning, and so obviously something's working for you there. And I think that one of the things I heard somebody else talking about when they were talking about Instagram was they said, I don't love Instagram, but I feel the need to learn it, and I feel like there is a platform there. There's a sort of a younger market there of people that you can capture early, that have the hunger, that have some of the attributes that they see that they want in their businesses. And she said, I don't love Instagram, but she said it is an awesome platform for, number one, making the connections that I want to make, and then I get them integrated over to my Facebook. And I just thought that was very interesting to sort of use the Instagram as I'm gathering people, I'm making connections, but I want to very quickly get them over to this other platform where I'm much more comfortable. So I thought that's interesting too.
And you can do the same thing with text messaging, like with the blitzes and stuff, trying to get them from one platform of, you simply texting them to the next, that they're sending you a friend request on Facebook, or you're having a conversation with them on the phone.
Yeah. Well, you do a lot of those texting blitzes, so I guess we could cover, if you don't mind, talk a little bit about that. What does that look like for you? How do you come up with who you're texting? What do you say? All of that stuff.
So what I started doing is, if I see a new name in my back office that enrolled somebody and I've never seen that name before, I will text them and tell them, hi, this is Tammy with TrueVision Health. I just want to congratulate you on sharing your TrueVision story. If you would ever like to do some interactive training, just let me know. And every message that I've got a response from that message, the answer was yes. And they were, happy that somebody noticed that they signed somebody up. And then as far as texting blitzes, right now, what I'm doing is I'm going back and messaging every person that hasn't ordered since the beginning of the year. Their last order date was, I started with January and February. I'm on March now. And just sending them a message to let them know that, hi, this is Tammy with TrueVision Health. I just want to let you know that you still have support in your weight loss journey. Have you met your weight loss goals? And I'm finding that a lot of those people didn't realize that they could, nobody offered support. They didn't know how to reorder. They didn't know that they could order a package that was less than $159. They didn't know that they could sell and cover the products that to cover their own products. A lot of them didn't know any of those things. And some of them simply, they had detox issues, or they didn't know that there are other products that can help with constipation and things like that.
Sorry.
So we've been working on getting a lot of reorders simply and reactivate simply from just those text messages.
Yeah, and I know why you're texting, but if you would tell them why you have chose to text them specifically rather than just Facebook message.
Well, I mean, there's probably 1,000 Angel Smiths that are listed on Facebook. So I have no idea what Angel Smith it is. But there's typically, you know, you're not going to have very many people that have the same phone number. Like that's just a glitch sometimes. But honestly, I don't read my emails. If it's not something that I'm looking for, I'm not going to read it. But I do read every text message that I get, even if it's like Kmart, save 10%. I'm going to read it and see what it says. Like, does it interest me? Is it going to be something that can help me? Like, do I need to, you know, a coupon or whatever it is? But people actually will read a text message over a Facebook message that goes to a message request. There's no message request there. There's none of that.
Yeah, and you know, just to statistically speaking, the reciprocity level of a text message over an email or a message, meaning like the level at which people open a text message over one of those other options, is 80% of people are gonna open a text message. So that's huge. People can very easily, like you said, ignore an email that you sent, ignore your Facebook message forever and ever, or like you're saying, if it's somebody that you haven't connected with yet, it can go to spam and sit there forever and ever, you know. So I love the text messaging. So that's why I wanted you to cover that.
And then there are some people that don't have a phone number attached to their back office. And what I do with those people is I find the person that's closest to them that is actually active and just have them send the same message in a Facebook message so that way we've at least tried to reach out in another way.
That's awesome. I love those. It's like really digging deep and doing some of that taprooting stuff. And we'll cover some of that in a minute. But so whenever you're going to, just for those that maybe aren't as familiar with the back office, when you go to do this, are you using the feature where you do it on your phone and click the phone key on their back office page, or how are you doing it?
Yes, it's the easiest because like I've tried using the texting apps, and if you even mistype a number, it doesn't go to the right person. So just doing it one by one from the back office and just clicking on the phone portion of it. And some of the phones are landline. You'll get a text back. It'll ping back and tell you it was not successfully sent.
Yeah, but I'm sure that's a small percentage because I bet not very many people have landlines anymore.
No, it isn't very many at all. Probably like out of the people I've messaged for the past 3 months, I've probably gotten 10 of those.
Yeah, so that's awesome. And so for those of you that aren't familiar, what she's saying is if you go to somebody's profile, like in your back office, on a phone, there will come up a little phone icon when you go to contact them, and that you just click that and it takes you straight over to your text messages and you can text them. So it makes it super, super simple there. But the other thing I wanted to touch on that you were talking about, Tammy, there is something that you don't start to think about much until you get to growing, but those of us that do have big organizations, it's a problem I hear complained about all the time, and that is not knowing like how to make sure that everything's duplicating all the way down, because you know, maybe you'll have really good associates your first 2 or 3 levels, and then on that level 4 there's somebody that just either sits back and collects a paycheck or never knows what's going on, or is just super unresponsive, you know, whatever it could be from the laundry list of items. What you're saying about texting people that you see have enrolled somebody and congratulating them is an awesome way to just sort of reach down there and scoop those people up so that you know at least at a bare minimum, they're getting good care from you. And I think that that's just good business practice. I think that that is a good way to lead to a really strong organization.
Right.
And so I guess that's a good segue, I guess, into Karen said, are they her customers? If it's somebody that she's messaging, Karen, it has to be within her downline. So they may not necessarily be her level ones, but it could be Let's say she had a selling associate who goes inactive and she's wanting to reach out to people that person enrolled to let them know like they still have support, or whatever it may be. She can pinpoint those people and find them, if that makes sense. So that's a good, I think, segue into Taprooting. Tammy, do you want to talk a little bit about what that is and any other methods you may use to do that?
For Taprooting, typically I try to connect with the person in as many ways as I can. It usually starts with a text message, and you used to send us like an inactive list or like from the past however many months, and just go back and follow up with those people. But Taprooting especially happens like when you have somebody that's kind of fallen off, and just to be able to help their people, and you celebrate with them like every step of the way. Like if, for example, if I have a lady that's fallen off and I message one of her people and they say that they've lost 50 pounds, I'm going to introduce the opportunity for them to sell as well and to share their journey with others, because most people know somebody else that can benefit from losing some weight or having some extra energy or just overall feeling better about themselves.
Yeah, absolutely. I know there's a lot of Taprooting going on right now, and I love it.
I think that, not only does it empower them, but like for myself, I've been able to connect with people that share similar struggles. So, empowering them still empowers myself, because I'm able to have conversations with them over infertility or, just having issues with constipation, things that I can relate to that maybe somebody else couldn't relate to.
Yeah, I love it. And Natasha says she's trying to learn more about Taprooting. So it's all great info being shared. I personally have at least 2 teams that I can think of right off the top of my head that have built to be so strong from Taprooting, have found really amazing people, really good rock stars, have sort of just solidified a foundation from Taprooting. And I am a huge proponent of it, and I hope maybe one of these days I can get them to get on and just do some instructional stuff on that. But it is awesome. I think that one of the main things that it does, which is exactly what Tammy's talking about here, with that she can talk to them about her struggles with infertility and all of those things that she deals with from that, is building a community around them. And when people feel loved and safe and welcome and taken care of, and that they have a group of people, they are going to stick around and they're going to want to be a part of that. And sometimes that bond can be much stronger than the love they have for maybe what I love, which is our products or our corporate staff, or if they can build an attachment to something, it doesn't have to be those things, as long as they feel just as strongly about the thing that they're in love with as I do about our products, so it's just that sense of community and support and stuff that will keep people with you.
Right. It also allows people, like I told you before as well, is that like in my family, infertility, nobody else struggles with it. It's just like a taboo thing. They're just like, well, I just don't understand what your problem is. Just appreciate other people's children and things like that. So a lot of people feel like that they're all alone in a lot of different things. So if you're able to connect with those people that share similar struggles with you, then you're allowing them to know that they have a circle as well.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, so another thing I would like for you to touch on that you do that I think other people will find some benefit from, because this is a common thing that comes up, and it comes up all the time. I can't afford the products. And so I know that you are constantly working with people and working in referral type programs. And so I would love to hear from you. what that looks like to you. How do you explain it to people and get them started? What are those steps for you for getting people started through referrals?
So typically for a referral program, if somebody wants a control kit and just simply can't afford it, if they refer 5 of their friends who purchase 2 trials from me, then I will purchase their control kit with the money that I have earned from all of the people that they refer. So before, but it was, we did that, and then, so basically how it worked was before you only got $13 per trial, now you get 15. So you spend $159 and you've accumulated $150. So as soon as you purchase that control kit, you get $20 back. So essentially you're not spending any money out of pocket like you were before. What I started doing now though is, so if somebody truly wants to try the product, if they purchase a trial and they share the results and they refer a friend, I am allowing them to earn unlimited weeks of product for every friend that they refer. I'm giving them a week of products, which costs me nothing because I'm getting the money from the trial that was purchased. So I'm just giving back. And then in turn, I'm just accumulating a group of more and more people that will become potential customers.
Yeah, that's super cool.
I always try to find a way for people to be able to afford the product, whether it's, the $15 enrollment and showing them the business, whether it's buying them a control kit and then enrolling their trial users under them. Any way I possibly can, just to help people, because that, I feel that you grow a lot more when it's about them and not you.
Well, and that is super smart right now too, even more so than it was smart back then, but it's smart now with Club 90. If you get somebody that can't afford it, and then you go and they get some people to order trials and then enroll those people underneath them, and that's going to get you a new managing associate and is going to check off one of your boxes. They're going to have extra money towards their products in the future. You got this new managing associate that's really on fire. I mean, there's just so many cool things that you can do with referral programs that don't get utilized enough. I know a lot of people get that, well, I can't afford it, and then that's the end of the conversation for them when it doesn't have to be.
Mm-hmm.
I know for you, a lot of your workers from the beginning came on from some sort of referral program, and so it just, if they want it that bad, they will work for it. But so what are you doing when they're like, how do I find my friends, or what do I say to my friends? Are you giving them like a post, something like how to message people? What are you doing with them?
Well, before Facebook changed their algorithm, I had them add all their friends to the group, and then we did a post together, and then I would boost their posts. Now that Facebook has changed that, I mean, there's a couple of different ways that you can get them to draw interest within their friends. I mean, one of them is simply as simple as, who wants to lose some weight and have some extra energy with me? People are going to respond, and yes, you will get some stupid responses, but there are a lot of people that truly want to lose weight. They don't want to do it by themselves, but they don't know where to even begin. And if you have a friend doing it with you, then you're a lot more likely to be successful in it.
Yeah, absolutely. I love that. I think there's, a lot that you can do there. Even with the algorithm change, I did a referral program, and I'm like, I want you to just test something out with me. And I said, I know that it's going to send them an invite first, But I said, I'm going to give you something to send them. And so she kept track of, I think she added like 20 people or something to the group, and she kept track of all their names. And then I sent her this message that said, hey, I just want to show you something that I'm really excited about. I've been trying to lose some weight. I want you to check it out. Here's the link or whatever. And I sent the link to our group, and then that way the people could go and accept it. And so anyway, I think I ended up selling like 5 trials just from doing that with her friends. And so it was super effective. So that's like another idea for you guys too. If you guys get into this and you're like, I don't know how, I have somebody interested, but how do I get them from interested to like actively working a referral? So, okay, let's see here. I'm looking at my list of topics. I know you wanted to talk about believing in your team and celebrating. So I'm going to let you talk a little bit about that and share with us some of your thoughts on how you work that into your, being a leader and leading your team.
For me, I think that it's important for people to feel appreciated. And so I think that in order to be an effective leader, that you have to be willing to celebrate even the little things. Like, for example, if you have somebody in your team that's kind of fallen off, come back, or just like started to pick up, like notice those things, whether it's, you see them actually posting in your customer group, or that they're posted in yard sale sites that they've made their first sale. It's important for people to feel appreciated and to know that somebody else notices what they're doing and they're not doing this by themselves. So lately, I've been celebrating with my team, just like when I see a new enrollment, like congratulations, so-and-so for your new enrollment. Or if I see somebody that does a really good post, I will, send them a message and just say, hey, good job. It was a really cool idea. But you also just have to be able to be open-minded with your team, because everybody, whether they're just an associate starting out, a 3-star director, 6-star director, they all have a lot of valuable input, and just be open to just trying out new ideas and going from there. But people, they want to know that they came up with a good idea, or they want to know that somebody noticed that they enrolled 2 new people today, or whatever it is. People just want to truly feel appreciated that somebody cares.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that's very important as you grow and as you have people watching you and working underneath you, celebrating all the wins, as many as you can catch. I mean, we can't be expected, obviously, to catch all of them.
Right.
But as many as you can, I think is a good way to keep people feeling, as special to us as they are. Okay, so we're going on about 40 minutes here, and this has been awesome. Natasha's had some great info being shared tonight, and that's like exactly why we wanted to do these and branch out and actually have some conversations about how real successful, real working individuals are doing it, and what they're doing and how they're doing it, because it's just absolutely invaluable information. So I love it. So thank you, Tammy. But before we wrap it up, are there any other tips, advice, like what, anything you want to tell us, or something you're doing, whatever it may be, that you would like to share?
Just, I think that it's important that you help people to see, believe in themselves. Like, for myself, I had a girl that just started out with me, and ever since she was like a senior associate, we would talk daily, and I would just say, like, good night, 3-star, or whatever. Like, if you can get people to believe that those things will happen eventually, that they will happen. And I'm just so thankful that to have her by my side as a 3-star director now. And that conversation started when she was a senior associate. So just helping people to believe where that they can go and what that they will do. It's just absolutely amazing to be able to walk side by side with all of these people. just absolutely amazing. And all of them have been there for me through, you know, my dark days. And I've probably been there for some of theirs as well.
Yeah, I think that's important to build those relationships and those bonds and different things like that. Karen says, how do you post in a garage sale site? The few I've found have rules that you have to say what the name of what we're selling, and we're not supposed to say the name.
You don't have to sell anything. You can do it as a discussion and just simply say that you have a weight loss group, or you're looking for a group of ladies that are size 14 to 20 that want to drop a dress size or two with you.
Yeah, I love that. I think some of the most successful cold market posts I've seen have been exactly that. You know, I'm looking for ladies size this to this that would like to join, you know, a weight loss support group, or I have a weight loss support group full of, you know, testimonies, recipes, blah, 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 whatever. Those have definitely been the ones that are most successful lately. And I just think some of the other stuff has been seen so much that people are just seeking out something different. They're seeking out the support, I think, that comes from a weight loss support group.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Does anybody have any questions for Tammy? Anything you want her to, Melissa, I believe it was Melissa I lost. Melissa said, would it be possible to get it written out how you do the referral program? Do you have something written up on like a step-by-step for your referrals?
I do for the 10 referrals that's in the all-in group. I don't necessarily for the where I do the refer one friend and get a free trial, just because that's something that I just started implementing. I can type something up though, but I usually, it varies by the person as to what I will actually offer depending on what that they're able to do. I mean,
yeah, I think that is important, that it's all of this, whether it's a package, whether it's a how you approach somebody, a conversation, a whatever, you know, a follow-up, all of those things they have to be a little bit designed around the person. There's not like a one size fits all thing for everybody, you know, and there won't ever be. So I'm glad that you said that, because it's not, one thing isn't going to work for every single person. Is there a certain way that you determine which one you prefer to use?
well, I asked them like if they know anybody that would want to lose some weight with them. But I have had people that, one lady, she didn't know anybody. I don't know. So she actually was posting in yard sale groups for me and adding the people to the group or whatever. I sold several trials that way and just would send her free product for that.
That's
so
awesome.
It just depends on what the person is comfortable with. But her posts in the yard sale groups, I honestly thought were better than mine.
That's awesome. Yeah. Well, there you go. I mean, there's some ideas for you guys, and I can try and share that write-up that she has in our team group for the essentially where they refer you trials, and those people order trials from you, and then you pay for their kit. I think we do have that, so I can try and share that information with you, so you guys can at least get an idea of what one option is. But you know, like that's another totally an option that I would have never thought of, to get somebody like sort of working for me. That's like so smart.
Well, she was just like, I'll post for you. So I was like, okay. I mean, I was kind of nervous as to what I was getting myself into. But I mean, like I said, I just have always been like a trial and error type of person and wanted to try something out, and it happened to work.
I love it. That's so fun. Awesome. Okay. Does anybody else have anything for Tammy. Make sure you guys please send her lots of love and thank yous for taking her time to do this call and chat with us tonight. Tammy, thank you.
You're welcome.
Well, but any questions here really quick? Speak now or forever hold your peace. Okay, I just see lots of thank yous and well dones and great info. So I think they loved it. So thank you so much, Tammy. I loved it. It was great. I think there's lots of good info in here. So thank you for sharing.
You're welcome. Have a good night, everybody.
Yes. Good night, everyone. Thank you.
Bye.